And it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Are we ever going to get that fixed, or I just got to get a new opening? What we doing? What we doing? Wait. Say it on the air. I dare you. I dare you. See.
You his producer, Jason.
But you the one make them, Zach.
I do not make other people's show opens.
You don't?
So who made my show open?
Kyle.
No, he didn't.
It wasn't me.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It's my show. I say it's you. It's you. Because that's all I got. Yeah, I think Kyle did make it. But yeah, it's time for a new opening. You know why? Because everything I said in it came true. You vote. Other people get in office, you got nobody on that side, and you lose everything. And so now you lost everything. And so you got people walking around crying, thinking they lost everything. Meanwhile, who's getting over like a fat rat? $2 billion city budget, a couple $1 billion in the county. Yep. Taxes are going up. Power's going up. And in my top 5 at 5, we got the DPI secretary trying to tie raises for teachers to inflation. I don't get it. And then we forget that some of the things that we're supposed to do, like, keep up with education, we forget that. So all this presidential stuff was going on and all the local stuff that's happening, they just kind of slid by. But yesterday, the MPS superintendent answers questions of unacceptable status quo of MPS. And so I went through this article that was in JS Online by Cleo Krejci. I think it's Krejci, Krejci. And so I'm looking at it, and it talks about it's no secret in the past several months have been rocky for MPS. Really? Rocky? That was a main message shared during yesterday's meeting of the Greater Milwaukee Committee, a local nonprofit whose membership list includes business executives, college presidents, and other community leaders. GMC members gathered at Marquette University to ask questions of Eduardo Galvan, the interim superintendent for MPS, and brainstorm solutions. Why are you brainstorming solutions now when we've had this issue for 40 years? What made you wake up? GMC President Joe Brennan said it's no secret that Milwaukee Public Schools have faced major challenges for decades, that 2024 brought them, many of them directly to the surface. So among those challenges, he said, are declining enrollment, poor academic outcomes, problems with facilities, and community distrust and driven by financial mismanagement. All of those things have been there for the past 30 years or 3 decades. The coming year, Brennan said, will be an opportunity to, watch this, determine the productive role that each of us can play in collaborative partners. It's too late. It's time to make change. Or individually to disrupt the unacceptable status quo related to education in our community. But then there's a headline here that says, Galvan says he doesn't want to vacate any part of Milwaukee with school closures. How idiotic is that? That mindset. 1 in 4 buildings are overcrowded. Another 1 in 4 are underfilled. Fill it up or get rid of it. You are not a very good leader, and I'm not talking about Galvan directly. You're not a very good leader if you have fiscal issues in front of you and buildings that are not full and you continue to pay for them and then say you don't have any money. It's idiocy. You have to close some schools. You're going to have to pay for busing to take them to other schools. But what you can't do is leave those schools open. You're going to have to vacate a part of Milwaukee. You and I both know the majority of the schools you're going to have to vacate are on the north side. And black people can't just care about black people when it comes to education. They got to care about all people. Because one school impacts the other. But we sit and we complain because we just want what we want, and that's what got us in the predicament that we're in now. MPS, of course, released that list of schools, and on yesterday, Galvan said it's natural for members of the public to view the biggest question moving forward: how many buildings are you going to close? So here's what we're doing, right? We're going slow, and they're talking this nonsense that it's going to take 10 years. Why would it take 10 years to close a building? You know where those kids go to school and where they don't. You have all the data you need. The fact that you hired somebody outside of MPS to come tell you something that you already knew and that you already did 6 years ago is ridiculous on its face. And now I'm talking about the school board because, we know what they do. Data shared by MPS shows many of its students don't attend schools closest to where they live anyway, often head to schools in southern Milwaukee where more academic programs exist because MPS doesn't think black kids can learn or Hispanic kids can learn, and they ship them to other places because Brown versus the Board of Education destroyed education in the black community. So when white people took advantage of all deliberate speed, they literally took black schools, closed them, fired the principals, and then shipped us to white schools so that they could get money from the state. And that's why we keep having these issues with Milwaukee Public Schools, because all of the white administrators, black and Hispanic administrators, Asian administrators, and union officials want that money from the state so they can keep that building open even though ain't nobody there. And so you get administrators walking around making $150,000, $100,000 a year, principals, area superintendents, or whatever the heck they call those idiot positions. Why? Because one person doesn't want to be accountable to his leadership principles? Nope, don't want to do that. I need to put some people in between me so I don't have to do all that work. So you jack it up another million or so because you got to pay salary, benefits, insurance, all that. You even change the name of what a quality education is because you're in cahoots with DPI because you don't want to use a negative term because kids aren't learning, even though your children aren't learning. And you let them because you all are the ones that voted her in. Galvan said the district needs to understand why students choose to enroll in particular schools, then make changes accordingly. What? On the table are changes to policy that shape which schools children enroll in. How about whatever school they want to? How do we get our families to reinvest in these schools? Make them better. When you have a superior product, people pay for it. When you have a subpar product, even when it's free, people leave. Of 13 of the MPS schools that could close, 6 are in one of Milwaukee's poor zip codes, 53206. Why are we still stuck on 53206? We spend more time complaining about it and crying about it than we do actually making it better. But it just makes no sense. You say student academics are a top priority. 65.6% of high schoolers in Milwaukee 2022-2023 graduated within 4 years. Statewide, the same data point was 90.5%. When asked, he said academic achievement is a top priority. So if it's a top priority, then why aren't we doing anything about it? Why aren't we doing anything about it? And he had me, and I supported it until he said this. Underfunding of K-12 education is not just a Milwaukee issue anymore. Really? Underfunding with less students? You went from 100,000 students to 60,000, and you literally have more money now than you had then. Talking the same trash, always wants more money. You know what it comes down to? With MPS, I don't care what you say. When you look back then or today, it's the same old, same old.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
It's College Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholars get those free scholarship dollars. All month long, we will be highlighting local universities who offer full tuition scholarships and local organizations who help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune into 1017 The Truth's College Month so you can learn how your scholar can get those scholarship dollars. College Month on The Truth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Concordia University, Wisconsin.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
At Concordia University, Wisconsin, your future is more than a degree. It's an opportunity to lead and serve. With over 90 degrees, small class sizes, and a supportive Christian community, we prepare you to have a vocation with purpose, both in your career and in life. Whether you're a high schooler with big dreams or a full-time adult with a busy schedule, Concordia is here to help you reach your goals. Concordia University, Wisconsin. Live uncommon.
Sybaris Pool Suites. Romantic, luxurious, affordable. A place where romance touches paradise and the memories of a lifetime are made. Sybaris offers a variety of room styles, including the exquisite Chalet Suite, which spans 3 levels and features your own private swimming pool with cascading waterfall, soothing whirlpool tub, a cozy fireplace, and much more to make your stay unforgettable. They are located in Mequon, just north of Milwaukee. Take a virtual tour at Sybaris.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yo, this is Queen Latifah, bringing a song to you about a place you might live. In case you don't understand, it's called New Jack City.
So I got a question. Is this song about MPS administrators or the school board? Because they seem to love money. Everybody's but theirs. One of the reasons why we need money is because look at all these referenda. That's big, like, it's because you're greedy. You know, the same way you talk about greedy corporations, what about greedy unions? Greedy teachers unions. You can't say that. Oh my God, you hate teachers. No, I don't hate teachers. I love teachers. I think they're some of the best people in the world. No, I'm not a teacher. I'm a professor. There's a difference. Call me a teacher. Really? I'm not a K-12 teacher.
I was just thinking, Dr. Ken, like teaching, you like in the class teaching. So I just thought.
What?
What teacher is named Doctor?
I don't know.
Like, it's in the profession.
No, I'm in higher education. Now, if you use the generic term educator, you could probably get away with it. Teacher? No.
You're
so arrogant. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Wisconsin State Superintendent Jill Underly, we're not just talking about her, has proposed significant investments in Wisconsin schools for 2025-2027 state biennial. The proposal from yesterday. But where'd she talk about it? In McFarland. DPI budget request. It includes reimbursing schools at 90% for special education and tying revenue limits to inflation. Overall, the complete proposal will cost just over $4 billion. Wisconsin's public schools have been asked to do more with less for too many years. Really? How about less children because you need more money. And the upcoming biennial budget presents a critical opportunity to make meaningful change and support the kids of our future. And I'm adding this part, our pocketbook. Currently, Wisconsin reimbursed school districts at 33.3% for special education costs, causing them to draw from their general funds to make up the difference. Yeah, that's what it's called. Everybody else at home got to do it. You have to do it as well. But school districts still pulled over $1 billion from their regular budgets to fund special education during the 22-23 school year. So, well, the biannual budget, DPI has proposed increasing the special education reimbursement rate to 75% in 2026 and 90% in 2027. Absolutely idiotic. The department also proposes reimbursing local education agencies for special education costs in early childhood education. These are mandated services and schools need the help. So policing is mandated. You need to get them that too. Sheriff's Department is mandated, so you need to give them some money too, right? So all these things are mandated, but it seems like the only people that ever get money are the schools and DPI. Their proposed budget will also include increases in revenue limits by $425 to $437.75. That's dollars in 2027, as well as increases in supplemental pupil aid for a total $1.2 billion. They propose tying revenue limit increases to inflation for the first time since 2009. Over the past month, Underly has also asked for money to improve teacher recruitment and retention, support early literacy efforts. How about you just teach them how to read the first place and stop thinking kids can't get it done? How about you extend it to 5th or 6th grade in terms of teaching reading? They want to give every single student in the state of Wisconsin free breakfast and free lunch. I don't think so. And expand youth mental health services. Really? I don't get it. 833-212-1017. At some point, if you're not doing your job, you should be fired. DPI still didn't do their job when it came down to coming up and going after MPS and calling them out. They themselves drug that out and let the superintendent drag that out and did absolutely nothing about it. So why should we give Jill Underly one red nickel? Nothing. Because she hasn't done a good job with what she has already. All she ever talks about is more money. Where are the policy changes? Where are the changes to help MPS and help kids learn and graduate? None of that. We just always want more money to do less stuff. I've never seen a school district or a state that did so much less and wants more. It's just ridiculous. Makes absolutely no sense. And we continue to do it. Oh, well, that's not a problem. We can just come in and give them money. Just throw it at them. And then you ask, so what do I get in return? Nah, we don't really get anything. Graduation rate is worse now than it was before. Dropout rate is worse now than it was before. And you want a raise? That's idiotic. You'd be stupid to give somebody more money for doing less work. Hey, I have 2 flat tires in my car, and I'm going to call somebody to come fix them. When they're done, well, I fixed your 2 flats, but you got a 3rd flat over there, but I'm not going to fix that. But wait, I still can't drive my car. Well, you called me to fix these 2 flats, so I fixed those 2 flats. You have to call somebody else for that. What would you do? Hey, I know you got kids that can't read, but I'm a math teacher, so I don't do reading. But they're in 7th grade. Yeah, I know. We stopped teaching reading in 3rd grade. So when you hit 4th grade, if you don't know how to read, everything is enrichment. Yep. But then how do I get to 6th grade or 5th grade and I have to go out to the literacy coach every week or every day to learn how to read? Well, yeah, that's right. So how did I get to 5th or 6th grade if I don't know how to read? Like, what were y'all doing? Oh, I'm sorry, we have social promotion until high school. So what I'm hearing is that you will literally promote me to the next grade, even though I can't read and I can't do math and I can't do science and I can't do English and I can't do civics and I can't do history. You'll just promote me. Yes, we will. And then I'll go to high school, and I can't learn a trade. I can't take carpentry. I can't take automotive mechanics. I can't take electronics, computers. I can't take any of that. No, you can't. So what do I do when I get to high school? Oh, that's when you drop out. Well, what do you mean? Well, you drop out in high school because you can't do any of those things. You can't read, you can't do writing, and you can't do arithmetic. So how did I get to 8th grade from 3rd grade when you were supposed to teach me reading, and now I can't read, and I'm in 8th grade, and 5 years later, going to high school, and then by my second semester freshman year, when I realized I can't read, I can't write, and then you're not promoting me to sophomore because we don't do that anymore. So you're basically setting kids up so that we can what? Notify Department of Correction what prisons we need to build, because we know when they can't read in 3rd or 4th grade, when they take that 4th grade test, we can determine how many prisons we're going to need 10, 20, 30 years in the future. Oh, okay. But then y'all talk about mass incarceration, but if you take care of your schools, you actually wouldn't have mass incarceration. You wouldn't even have to worry about people going to prison or going to jail or getting arrested or committing a crime. Imagine that. But now we don't do that. We just let it slide. 833-212-1017 is the number. White Widow, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, good afternoon, Dr. Ken. How was your holiday?
I'm good.
Did you guys get off and paid for Veterans Day?
Of course not.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to come there with the card, sign you up for a union, and that's the first demand on the table, paid off federal holidays.
Okay, so watch this. Wait. White Widow. First of all, we're in the media, so we work 365 days a year. That's one. Number two, it's a public service, and we're licensed by the Federal Communications Commission, and we're a business. So that's two. Number three, we don't need a freaking union, because if you're going to do the same crap that they do at MPS, no, we don't want a union, and we don't need you to have us take a day off. If we want to take a day off, we'll take a day off. But what we don't need is a union. So what you got?
Okay. All right. What I'm going to tell you is you are absolutely correct. The teachers union is corrupt now. The only thing they've been doing for the last 8 years is following the woke, non-common sense mentality. I think I talked to you about that before, talking to an MATC teacher. There has never been so many layers above the teachers, whether feeling touchy, sexual gender, mental health. You know, there's never been so much administrators above teachers. They're up to like 2.5 right now at MATC of administrators for each teacher. It's ridiculous. The union is corrupt. I went to Milwaukee Public School Board, one of the hearings.
Well, wait a minute. I wouldn't say the union is corrupt. I would say some of the leadership in the union is corrupt. Because in some places,
a lot of it is corrupt.
Well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
No, I went through this myself, sir.
It's your opinion.
Yeah, but I went through this myself.
It's your opinion. Well, you can't say yeah and then say but, because now you're negating what I'm saying and what you're actually saying. So
it is my opinion, and my personal experience has been with the UAW General Motors.
Well,
I was there for 20-some years, and they are now in federal trusteeship because of the corruption of the union at the top. 11 representatives are in jail for embezzlement. I was at Milwaukee Public School Forum.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that. Okay, we're not going to get into the individual issues and all that stuff. I'm not ended up.
No, but I'll tell you what happened.
No, I don't want to know what happened. I don't want to know what happened.
Well, what do you want to know then?
I'm going to hang up.
I'm just agreeing on the fact that there has to be a restructuring of the union.
Well, thank you.
And the representatives right now are strong-arming the school board. They're capitulating. I seen it. I seen the guy get up and threaten the school board. You work for us.
Okay.
I saw at the meeting where the woman president, sashayed in when her name was called, gave her little speech, and walked out afterwards. So, yeah, there is a problem with the union in Milwaukee. Higher education, you think it's bad for the high schools? Try MATC.
Okay.
Try Milwaukee Career College. Try MyEd. Look at the dropout rate there. They're pushing these kids into MPS Milwaukee Higher Education.
Now you're
having them sign the dotted line.
But you're making comments and you don't have any. You got any proof?
I have proof. You want me to give you the names of the students?
No, I want
me to give you the names?
Are you going to stop talking and let me ask you?
Yes, go ahead.
You can email me, host@1017thetruth.com. Any proof you have, send it to me. Not what the students say, but proof that this is what the schools are doing.
I will do that. And
all right.
also, I got an update. I got an update on something.
I gotta go. 833-212-1017 is the number. We got traffic, sports, and weather today. We got anything? I got somebody running on the highway to tell me what the weather is. Something? I got something, so I got everything but sports. Okay. You gonna do a sports update? Who's gonna do a sports update for me?
Live sports update?
You're gonna have to. Can you do a live sports update?
Oh, this team, I know is that the Bucks suck right now.
This team played. This team didn't. This team is playing tomorrow. This team ain't. See, it's simple. It's easy to do.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Fathers, grandfathers, future fathers, and father figures. Bring your families and join Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson at the Milwaukee Fatherhood Summit Saturday, November 16th at Milwaukee Academy of Science from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Don't miss this one-stop shop resource fair connecting Milwaukee families with job opportunities, child support help, health education and screenings, financial empowerment, legal assistance, and fatherly inspiration. The featured speaker is Pastor Kenneth Locke from Evolve Church. Bring your teens and learn about internships, jobs, and local mentoring opportunities. Register to be eligible to win gift cards, so don't wait. Gifts and prizes will also be available for families during the event. Pre-register today by visiting milwaukee.gov/fatherhood to join us as a participant and exhibitor, or to support the Fatherhood Summit as a volunteer. That is milwaukee.gov/fatherhood. See you Saturday, November 16th at the Milwaukee Fatherhood Summit, sponsored by the City of Milwaukee, Brewers Community Foundation, and Ascension, Wisconsin.
We're getting close to awarding someone $10,000. It's the third Thursday networking event featuring the pitch competition, November 21st at Rain Event Lounge, 231 East Buffalo, 5 to 9 p.m., hosted by the Wisconsin Black Chamber. It's the last chance to qualify for the pitch finale in December. Be there at 5 p.m. to register to compete. Registration to pitch is only open for 15 minutes, so be on time if you want a chance to be a finalist and compete in December for the $10,000 first place prize. The audience chooses the winner at the monthly event, so bring your family and friends to come support you. Let me say that again. The audience chooses the winner at the monthly event, so bring your family and friends to come support you. Third Thursday is not just about the pitch competition, though. There's life-changing networking opportunities, games, prizes, and music by DJ L Boogie. There is no cost to attend our Third Thursday event or compete in the pitch competition, so don't miss out. Rain Event Lounge, 231 East Buffalo, 5 to 9 p.m. Visit twbcc.com so you don't miss out on what we have going on.
This is Dr. Ken Harris from Truth in the Afternoon. Listen to The Truth all day, every day by downloading the Truth app or streaming on Spotify, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Stitcher. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
We got southbound 41 backing up from just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. We got eastbound 94 a little bit heavy from 84th Street through the Stadium Interchange to 35th. The westbound side is going to be slow from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. You're back on the brakes crossing over the county line. Looks like there's an incident just west of the county line itself off on the left shoulder, so watch out for a little bit of a backup right through there. And then we got on southbound 894 backing up from before Beloit Road down and around the Hale to Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear to partly cloudy skies, low 41 at the lakefront, 32 inland. Tomorrow, turning mostly cloudy, breezy, rain after 6 p.m., a high of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I get accusations that are made, but I need a little proof too. Like, you don't just get to come on the radio and say anything you want and then end up getting jammed up with, complaints and lawsuits and all that stuff. That's just me. It's just me. That's why I read from credible news sources and say, hey, this is what I'm reading and this is what I'm saying. I do analysis. I'm not an advocate. You want to be an advocate, be Tory Lowe. You want to be an advocate, be somebody else. I'm not an advocate. I do analysis. Okay. I'm just saying, getting myself all jammed up. Speaking of, tell me what you think about this. From JS Online. Until now, counselors at 988 Wisconsin Lifeline could offer a range of responses to someone in crisis. What they couldn't do is know where someone was calling from. But a new ruling from the Federal Communications Commission is about to change that. The FCC unanimously voted last Thursday to require all U.S. wireless carriers to add geo-routing for 988 Lifeline calls and texts to local crisis centers. I think that scares the crap out of me. Geo-routing directs calls based on the appropriate geographical location of callers while protecting the privacy of their exact location. Historically, calls and texts for 988 were routed to crisis centers based on area code. That may have worked when most people call from landlines, but with more people calling from cell phones and keeping their phone numbers regardless of where they move, it's a unique problem of the modern age. And so the move has been applauded by the National Council of Well-Being, National Association of Counties, and mental health and crisis counseling experts across the country. They said improving 988 routing solutions can save more lives. So here's what it does. So here, some of the things about it for me bothers me. So here, but I get it. If you're a Wisconsin resident and you're calling from a phone with a Colorado code, it would send you to somebody in Colorado for counseling. Nationally, about 1 in 5 callers end up taking calls sent to counselors in other states based on their area code. So if I was in Illinois and it's a 312 area code or 773 and I'm in Wisconsin, it would send me back to Illinois. Right? And so if the call is in imminent danger, they said every second counts. So they made the change. Here's my question. When all this morphs over and that person that didn't really call or calls, or when they decide, I need to send Dr. Ken some help because he's in crisis, and you sick the mental health police on me, like, what do I do? If I say, no, I don't want your service. I never asked for your service. I called this hotline to talk about another thing, and now you're sending. I say that because of this. In the past, there have been these places where people have called these suicide hotlines and other places, and no, I am not saying don't call. Those places are helpful, and I think they're needed in society, and I think they're of great benefit. But some of those places were private, And so you call these places, and they basically coerce people into saying, well, you'd better sign up and you'd better check yourself in, because if you don't, we're going to call the police and say this and that and blah, 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 blah. So you better sign up for this, right? It's just like older people, right? They assign you an advocate. They go to court, get you an advocate, and then take all your money, your house, and everything. And your family tries to come in and go, hey, what's going on? Oh, this person's been signed over. I'm their advocate. How'd you become their what? And the court assigns it. So those scam things, and some of that almost happened to me. And that's why everything, that's just me, everything, as you age, take over that stuff, because people, I don't trust people. It's ABC. It's like yesterday. It's ABC. Yep. I'm at the point where you have to protect yourself from other people doing bad things. You have to protect yourself because other people will take advantage of your. You have to take advantage of what people do. Wow. I don't know if I should read this because it's in all caps, so they're hollering at me. Y'all know how that is, right? Dr. K, MPS is a criminal prostitution enterprise that has all the workers it needs. That's why they was hiding their face. It's profit. I don't get it. Now, let's be clear. MPS is not a criminal prostitution enterprise, so stop. The majority of Milwaukee public school system does a great job. Kids learn, they graduate, they go on to bigger, better, brighter, and greater things. The majority of the people that are great in the city of Milwaukee, that work in city government, that work in corporations, are products of Milwaukee public schools, and they are doing phenomenally. So let's get out of that trash. I'm talking specifically about the union and the relationship with the school board. And because people that come through MPS used to be in the union, all they do is sing that union idiocy. And they act like it's going to take 10 or 12 years because we want to string it out until I'm out of office, and then I don't really care what happens. And that's trash. If you're going to close the school, close it in July. June 30th, your school is closed, and we're going here. And we got the buses lined up, and we got the contracts to do it, and we're going. And we're done. Well, let's wait a year, and let's wait this. You have more than enough facilities to transfer all these people to other schools. Because the majority of the schools that are not full and the majority of the schools that are overcrowded, send them there. Oh, no, that might make too much sense. Well, the parents will get upset. Then they'll just get upset. They'll get over it. When your kid's graduating with an A, when you got kids in your school fighting to figure out who's going to be valedictorian because they're like 0.02% off, right? That's the kind of fight I want to see at a school. Right? I'm 3.912. She's 3.914, so she got it. That's the kind of fight I want to see at a school. That's where the kid goes, okay, you got me. I'll be salutatorian. I'll be number 2. Because number 3 is 3.911, right? So I get it. That's the kind of fight we should have in school. You should be crying because you're only in 3rd place out of 1,000 students, not in 2nd. That's the kind of crying I want to see at a school. But now we can't have that because nobody expects our children to be able to do that. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of students throughout the country that are doing great things, filling up HBCUs with waiting lists that would take another 10 or 12 years to put them in. My question to the HBCUs when we come back, why aren't you getting bigger? You struggle with money, and then you don't take more students. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The Milwaukee Panthers continue their road trip as they head to Virginia Wednesday night to take on the Longwood Lancers.
We have confirmed that. Back goes John Lovelace Jr. transition dunk on a tomahawk for Johnny.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield.
Stillwell offensive rebound, spin, score, and a foul.
Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Don't spend another winter shivering at home with wind howling through your windows. Take advantage of this deal from Pella. No interest, no payments for 12 months. Keep your home comfortable and save on energy bills thanks to customizable windows and doors from Pella. Pella can design them to look like they've been a part of your home throughout its history. Visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30 of 2024.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl Noni Juice here from my friends at Steinhafels. And there is nothing better than a great night's sleep on a Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhafels. The advanced pressure relieving power makes aches and pains a thing of the past. Right now at Steinhafels, you can save up to $300 on mattresses and up to $200 when you upgrade to an adjustable base. Plus, you can get $300 in Steinhafels cash. And Queen Tempur-Pedic mattresses start at just $48 per month when you use Steinhafels' 60-month financing. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. So before the break, we were talking about the why don't HBCUs get bigger? Now, I know Howard is pretty much landlocked, and a lot of the AU, the Atlanta University, the whole complex with the 5 universities, they're kind of landlocked. But do we have to have the IVs of HBCU? You know what I'm saying? The Hampton, the Howard, let me see, Morehouse, Spelman. What else would you consider to be a big name HBCU that everybody goes, oh yeah, right? Tennessee State. There's another one down there. But No, Lane, not Lane. I know you're talking about Lane, but I'm talking about like Tennessee. There's one in Nashville or Memphis, and you know, it just it just disturbs me that we have so many schools that we can't really fill them out. And I think we should be able to, you know. And let me see, because I know it was in Tennessee. Fisk. I was thinking about Fisk. Meharry, Tennessee State. So we've got some that are state schools, some that are private schools, and we need to really look at how we fund these schools. But unfortunately, Brown versus the Board of Education has dampened how we're able to handle schools and how we fund schools, because they created this system that we can't get out of and we can't get away from. They created this system when the Supreme Court said by all deliberate speed, the white schools and the administrators took that to mean the only way that black kids can learn is if they're in white schools, not necessarily have white resources. Because we're not giving you our resources. We're just going to bring you to our schools and we're still not going to educate you. That's that, you know, the ice in the white guy's refrigerator, you know, when they used to sell ice on the truck. The white guy's ice was colder than the black guy's ice when water freezes at 32 degrees. Okay. So that's the kind of stuff we have to put up with. Those are the types of things that we have to look at when it comes to education. I remember listening to somebody whose name shall remain nameless. They're local, I'll just say that. And said, I was playing golf one day, and the person said how smart you are and articulate you are and how this, because, you know, that's what usually happens when people say they're shocked that a black person has literal command of the King's English, right? And then they turned around and said, where'd you go to college? And they said, and at the time, they went to blankety blank blank university, which was an HBCU. This white male playing golf told a black female, that's unfortunate that you went to a second-tier school. Now, luckily, he didn't say that to me, because I'd probably be talking to you from prison. But, and I'm joking, of course, but the fact that we allow other people to dictate what we know is important and great. And so I think it's time that if we're going to have choice in charter schools, we need to start creating our own K-12 schools. Follow the textbook of Howard Fuller and just go. Because it doesn't make any sense. We're at a point now where we can keep a black student in a black school, K-8 or K-6, black middle school, black high school, black college. Let's just do it. Let's get out from behind. Let's just stop playing. If we're gonna be separate, right, and equal, let's be separate but equal. If we talk about being segregated and then we pretend that all white people go to white neighborhoods and black people go to black neighborhoods and Hispanic people go to Hispanic neighborhoods and Asian people live all over the place, then let's just do that. Let's stop playing. It doesn't make you less. It doesn't make you more important based on your race. It's where you decide to go to school, what you decide to do with your life. And respect people for it. That's it. Like all this other, well, you know, I want to go to an Ivy League school. I don't really care. I got a certificate from an Ivy League school. Okay. But at some point, it doesn't matter. And so let's not let other people dictate what's important in our community. Let's stick to our community. Part of the issue is stuff like this. Shelton State Community College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Talladega College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. How do you stay in business with multiple schools in one. Now, I'm not talking about male, female. I'm talking about co-ed schools. Everybody has a right to exist, but then it comes down to what? Whoever has the money wins. You got the most students and the best budget and the best curriculum, you win. And that's kind of what it comes down to. So how many HBCUs are there? 107. How many white colleges are there? And I wonder what the percentage is in terms of how many black people are in America versus HBCUs, and how many white people are in America versus predominantly white institutions. So the number of white institutions divided into the number of white people, and the number of HBCUs divided into the number of black people. And I wonder what that percentage is. I wonder. Because we have to start looking at what's best. And so we need to go back to these schools and expand them. We need to start thinking about how do we move Morehouse further and bigger than it is now. Spelman, further, bigger than it is now. You might have to give up some parking. Y'all might have to tell somebody to park somewhere else and take a shuttle to campus. And we're going to have to take all that parking space, and we need to build a building. We need more dorms, more classrooms. If we're going to start doing it for our children, and everybody wants their children to go to an HBCU, then go. But you got to build it up. And you have to have everything there that's going to help my child grow and become the person I want them to become, and then the person they want to become. And it's kind of simple. I don't think we want to do it. I think it's going to cost too much. Talker text line, Christopher said, we need an elementary university or campus. Close those empty schools. Yep. And we need to feed it with our HBCUs. We do. Like your goal here as an African-American student is to pick which HBCU you're going to, and we need to figure out how to facilitate it. Tell Al to hang on. I'll get to him before I do the top 5 at 5. Do it that way, because he'd have less than a minute to say what he was going to say. So, and I want to give him every opportunity to say what he wanted to say. But that's just one of those things we need to do. We need to start to create elementary schools like Howard Fuller and Milwaukee Academy of Science, and all those schools doing great things and educating our children, and just keep moving. But then do it with private dollars so can't nobody complain, can't nobody scream. Keep heavy oversight and auditing in place so that anybody acts a fool, you can get rid of them. Anybody acts like a knucklehead, we can be there. But if you got X amount of schools, I remember at one time we had like 100 and something choice schools, and everybody kept pointing to the 2 that closed. Divide that into the 100, and you tell me whether or not that percentage was better than the MPS, because kids were at least learning. But I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. We got Al, we got top 5 at 5, we got Gruber, all in the 5 o'clock hour. Up next.
The Truth app is home for all the Milwaukee Panther content you would want.
He'll dart baseline, and he will tomahawk it home with his right hand.
From conversations on the airwaves.
We're going to defend every board up the floor and every bounce and every pass. And we've got good depth, and you have to have good depth for the way we play.
To game highlights.
At the top, rises for 3 over Young and buries it.
Find the roar on the Truth app, Apple, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts to keep up with Panthers hoops.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Calling all big thinkers.
The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's big week for Concordia University, Wisconsin College Scholarship Month on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. This week, we'll highlight the many scholarship opportunities they offer students and tell you why your students should apply to attend at Concordia. So make sure you're listening here this Friday, 5:15, when I talk to Mrs. Turper about scholarships right here. But remember, if you're a high school student with big dreams or an adult student with busy schedule, Concordia University, Wisconsin is here to help you reach your goals and so much more. For more information, so if you need some information,
If you got to find out about it, visit cuw.edu, and you can go there. And I've got an interview that's going to come up that's going to give you some information about Concordia and why they do what they do and what they do and scholarships and all that stuff. So make sure you check it out because it's big week for Concordia University, Wisconsin. And yes, I am a professor at Concordia University, Wisconsin. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What's up?
Yeah, what I was going to say, I know y'all was talking about the schools and things. Another thing that parents can do that I noticed, sometimes when their kids is coming up through the education system, sometimes some of these parents kind of put them in certain work programs, or if they see their kids have a liking, like prime example, you have this school here like where they can teach the kids how to fly like airplanes or helicopters. I know up in Delavan, it was one boy, he was 13 years old. He said he wanted to be a construction worker, but his parents had put him like in something over the summertime, like a little workshop. And then it kind of helped them figure out their path growing up, but it's also going to take the parent involvement. So when they do reach a certain age, they're kind of, groomed in what direction they want to go. Prime example, they have schools out here that's into foreign weapons. Not saying to be all about the guns, but if they find out if there's a unique taste that their kids have, and most kids want to make mama or daddy happy by showing them how smart they is, maybe start when they're younger and try to find something to, intensify their liking for something. So when they do get to a certain part of school, they say, well, Mama, I figure I want to do this, or Daddy, I want to do this, or, coming up, the kids, one parent said, well, here, I want you to learn how to be a referee. So when they get a certain age, they'll fly them there just to, referee a game. They get like $500. But I was just saying that because if you put a little sprinkle in it and help them along the way, it'll make their education process a whole lot easier because it also teaches discipline and understanding of things too as well.
Yes,
so I just wanted to share that. Any little idea will work. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 833-212-1017 is the number. That's very true. That's very true. I don't know. Okay. Why the names and the different 833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
From JS Online, Milwaukee County's jail provider. Right? Like the people that come in and they say, hey, we are, we do like medical services for jails. Well, Milwaukee County's, who just happens to be one of the largest providers for prisons and jails nationwide, filed for bankruptcy. First reported by Bloomberg, the Nashville-based company WellPath Holdings Incorporated filed for Chapter 11 in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Southern District of Texas, dealing with escalating labor and legal costs. The company reported $644 million of debt. WellPath announced it had secured $522 million in financing and intends to sell part of its business. That's according to a statement shared with Bloomberg. Currently, WellPath is listed as a defendant in a handful of federal lawsuits in Wisconsin, including one filed in relation to the death of 20-year-old Silvia, I can't say the name, I don't understand, my apologies, Therion, who died by suicide in the jail, in Milwaukee County Jail, December of 2022. And the jail, overseen by the Sheriff's Office, is soon to undergo an external audit after a spate of in-custody deaths, including suicides, occurring at the facility between 2022 and 2023. And the audit is expected to focus on mental health care access, suicide prevention strategies, and staff training, as well as a review of WellPath. Interesting, but I think in the end, I don't know if you can, well, I don't know. I guess that's why they're going to do the audit, so they can figure out who exactly is to blame for some of the nonsense and to blame for some of the deaths.
Number 4.
Well, we talked about this earlier. 988 Lifeline counselors will now have the opportunity to be where you call them from. Does that make sense? So if you're in Illinois and you have a Wisconsin telephone number and you call 988 for mental health services or resources or something to that nature, you just need somebody to talk to. They're going to send you somebody in Wisconsin even though you're in Illinois because you moved. Well, no more. Right now, it takes your general location, not specific. It takes that, you know how you look at your location on your phone sometimes, and instead of giving you an exact place, it'll give you that circle. It'll do the circle thing and say you're somewhere in the circle. We will then send you to somebody with that zip code. Now, the issue I have with it is if I can get the circle, right, I can get the pinpoint. So I don't know who they're fooling. But if I can use geo to figure out where the range you are, then I can actually use geo to figure out where you are. So what happened to privacy? Oh, yeah, we don't need privacy anymore. Yeah, we don't need that, right?
Number 3.
Just like we don't need the Department of Education on a federal sense. CNN Politics has a story that says President-elect Donald Trump has pledged to abolish the Department of Education. On the campaign trail, he repeatedly pointed to the agency as a symbol of federal overreach into the everyday lives of families. I say it all the time. I'm dying to get back to do this. We will ultimately eliminate the Federal Department of Education. He said that in September during a rally in Wisconsin. We will drain the government education swamp and stop the abuse of your tax dollars to indoctrinate America's youth with all sorts of things that you don't want to have our youth hearing. In 1979, President Jimmy Carter, Democrat from Georgia, signed legislation making the Department of Education a cabinet-level agency. And so I argued with people, and they were like, we've always had a Department of Education. I'm like, no, we haven't. It got invented. So then, it fulfilled a campaign pledge he made to one of the country's largest teachers unions, the National Education Association. Previously, federal education programs were housed in other agencies. So if you wanted to deal with diversity in schools, and you have the U.S. Department of, right, then if you wanted to deal with the environment, I'm just making it up, in schools, EPA handled it. Now they put it all in one place. Trump has not said exactly how he would shut down the department, which would require an act of Congress, or what would happen to federally funded education programs if he did. And so here's what the Department of Education does and how eliminating it could play out. Again, if you're going to create something and only look at it from the negative, I think it's important and incumbent that when people don't like the president, if you're in journalism, you still do both sides. Here's the good, here's the bad, and then call it a day. But what you just said is how it could play out. So let's look. Some of their biggest jobs is to administer federal funding appropriated by Congress to K-12 schools and manage the federal student loan and financial aid programs. That right there is a problem that can change right away because all the federal government is doing is making money off the backs of people that go to college. You cannot get rid of the school loan through bankruptcy. Who are the idiots that put that in place and it actually passed? So it's more important for the federal government to make money than it is for an individual to not have 20, 30 years of debt over their head because God forbid they decided to go. I have a friend of mine who's 60 years old. He just got rid of his law school debt. He went to law school. You ready? You ready? He went to law school when he was 22 years old. He just got rid of it. It was that much. The Title I program for low income and the IDEA program, which provides schools with money to help the needs of children with disabilities. We have Health and Human Services that can do the IDEA program, and low income. Oh, wait, we got Health and Human Services. Okay, so we've got places that can do these programs. Together, these programs provide K-12 schools with $28 billion a year, but federal funding typically accounts for roughly just 10% of all school funding because the rest comes from state and local taxes. So then let's save that money and give it back to us who pay it. Department of Education distributes about $30 billion a year to low-income college students via the Pell Grant program and manages $1.6 trillion in school loan portfolio. You need to stop doing that. There's too many abuses in it. I got jammed up by it, and what we need to do is put them out of the business. Regulate the banks, regulate the anything that's a financial institution, right? And let's make sure that they do it the right way and make sure that somebody as, a credit union can even give you a loan, but they lock in what the loan rate is. Banks need to understand that this is what the loan rate is. If you jam people up, you can go to jail. You can lose your NCUA credit union accreditation. You can lose your FDIC. You can lose all that if you start jacking students. So with that, yeah, let's get rid of it. But I've always said that, even when Biden was in office, let's get rid of the Department of Education. It does not eliminate federal education funding. You simply transfer that over to other departments, and you get rid of all the people you're paying, the millions of dollars that you're paying, right? Now, they're not going to shut down the whole thing, right? They're going to figure out a way to keep some people in office because that's what, Let's merge education. Somebody said this. Let's merge education and labor, since one fuels the other anyway. The administration, when Trump was in office, said, let's abolish it and blend it so that together they can do it. You're still going to need a balance of power to make sure both of those are taken care of. But I think it can definitely happen. I really do. I think it can happen.
Number 2.
From CNN US, 11 people, this was breaking news today, 11 people are injured after a large explosion occurred at a commercial facility in Louisville, Kentucky this afternoon. 2 people were rescued from the Givaudan Sense Color facility in the Clifton neighborhood, and those injured were all employees working in the plant. I know I got that name wrong. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg said in a news conference this afternoon, all employees working in and around the facility have been accounted for. The large explosion was heard in the city around 3 o'clock, which was about 2 o'clock our time. Local agencies began responding to a large-scale incident with hazardous materials. That's what the Louisville Fire Department said on X. Officials issued a shelter in place for people within a 1-mile radius of the site in the Clifton neighborhood and an evacuation order for houses for 2 surrounding blocks. Employees who were inside the building reported normal activity when the explosion occurred. It's under investigation. So if you're in Louisville or you're here or you know people in Louisville, but sometimes things happen here in Milwaukee as well, and you think that you're like the only people, and that's sometimes those are some of the things that I don't like to hear about Milwaukee, that everybody keeps complaining that Milwaukee's going through this thing and oh my gosh, it's terrible. Well, guess what? You might not want to live in Dallas.
Number 1.
From the Dallas Morning News, they ask you the question, do you have lead pipes? Well, Dallas property owners could be on the hook to replace their own lead pipes. So if you're complaining about what's going on in Milwaukee or Wisconsin, listen up. The city sent thousands of letters to residents in recent weeks identifying the possibility of lead pipes on individual property. The initiative is part of a new rule from the Environmental Protection Agency requiring water systems nationwide to replace lead pipes within 10 years. The rule required all public water systems to compile and submit an initial service line inventory on October 16th. And so as part of the new regulation, Dallas Water Utilities Department is required to notify customers with unknown lead or galvanized service line materials. And residents shouldn't panic if they received a letter. Instead, they should test their water for lead. Kind of late by then, but Those who received unknown designations should inspect their pipes and report the results to the city as DWU, I guess their version of DPW, can update the information on their system. Department of Dallas, whatever it is, DWU, created an online step-by-step guide in English and Spanish to identify types of materials. So property owners are responsible for maintaining the private portion of the service line, including replacing any lead plumbing inside their premises and along their property coming from the meter. That's according to the department's a spokesperson. That's pretty much the same they have here in Milwaukee. Most common sources of lead in drinking water are lead pipes, faucets, and plumbing fixtures. Household plumbing fixtures, welding solder, and pipe fittings made prior to 1986 may also contain lead. And in 1986, the Safe Drinking Water Act banned the use of lead-based solder in the U.S. for plumbing that supplies water for human consumption. And so those are some of the things we're going to deal with here in the city of Milwaukee that we're going to have to make sure changes, because we gotta get this thing going. But then how do we do it if you can barely afford your mortgage and barely afford food and gas and water and all that? How do we get lead pipes done? Like, is there somewhere I can go to get a discount or get help in order to pay for the lead pipes that are in my house? I don't know. 833-212-1017 is the number. Brian, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
How you doing, Dr. Ken? Love your show.
Thank you.
I got a question about all this bashing of lead. We're close to, a lot of people are close to 60 and 70 years old.
Okay.
Back in the day, all our houses and our paint, we had lead paint in our houses. Didn't we? Didn't we grow up with lead paint in the house?
Yes, but we also have an abundance of people that have Alzheimer's and dementia, and we don't know where that came from either. So should we continue to do something when we know it's bad?
Well, I don't think it's got anything to do with lead. I think it's got more to do with people dieting and trying to keep fat out their diet. Got more to do with Alzheimer's and dementia. I don't think it's got anything to do with lead. I don't like the bashing of lead. I think lead is a good thing.
But we already know that lead is bad for us. You understand that, right?
How do we know that?
Are you serious?
No, I don't believe.
Are you serious?
Me personally, I don't believe. Yeah.
Serious?
I mean, we've been drinking out of lead pipes for years. I'm in perfect health. You know what I mean? I mean, we got young folks. Can you hear me?
I can. You're just fine. I'm listening. I'm letting you finish.
We got young folks that can drive 80 miles. We got young folks that can drive 80 miles an hour, run into somebody, and get out the car and run away. You think they don't drink water?
Okay.
I mean, I don't think we are as unhealthy with lead pipes and lead paint as they're trying to make it out to be. I think it's got something else to do with something else.
It's got to do with
the fact that you really can't see.
It's got to do with what lead. It's got to do with what lead can do to you. It causes brain and nervous system damage. I have. Lead exposure can damage your brain, your central nervous system. It can lead to coma, convulsions. It slows your growth and development for developmental issues, learning and behavior. It can cause issues with your kidneys, your reproductive system. It can give you anemia. So is it okay? Or
I'm sorry, I think it's got more to do with your diet.
That's what I'm saying. Or do I toss? Or do I toss the dice and hope that lead doesn't do it? Like, of course, there's some things that we have that at some point you just got to go, dude, I'm going to wake up and live in a bubble because evidently I can't breathe the air, I can't be in the sun, I can't do all these things, right?
I can't drink the water.
But listen, nobody's saying that. They're talking about in excess. And when you're a kid and you've been living the last 25 years in the same house, drinking the same water over and over every day, that's a problem. That's what they're saying. You can avoid the sun, you can avoid food, but can you really avoid water in your house? You take a bath in it, you wash your hair, and you drink it. Like, it's kind of basic.
Sure.
So here's my question to you. What would I be trying to hide, or what scam am I putting over on somebody, or what conspiracy is there to talk about lead affecting people?
Well, it's a known fact that spies and that police and what have you can drive through a neighborhood and look through your house and see exactly what's going on in there. When you had lead-based paint, they couldn't do that. You can't see through lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you much.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I don't buy the lead bashing. I think lead is fine.
Okay.
Just my opinion, though.
I appreciate it. Have a good one, Brian.
No problem. You too.
833-212-1017 is the number. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so I'm not going to listen to the 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to listen to the government. I'm not going to listen to medical doctors. I'm not going to listen to the World Health Organization. I'm not going to listen to the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry. I'm not going to listen to the Center for Disease Control, Mayo Clinic, EPA, Institutes of Health. Yep, I'm going to blow them all off. And Cleveland Clinic. Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, that's got to be it.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Fathers, grandfathers, future fathers, and father figures. Bring your families and join Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson at the Milwaukee Fatherhood Summit Saturday, November 16th at Milwaukee Academy of Science from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Don't miss this one-stop shop resource fair connecting Milwaukee families with job opportunities, child support help, health education and screenings, financial empowerment, legal assistance, and fatherly inspiration. The featured speaker is Pastor Kenneth Locke from Evolve Church. Bring your teens and learn about internships, jobs, and local mentoring opportunities. Register to be eligible to win gift cards, so don't wait. Gifts and prizes will also be available for families during the event. Pre-register today by visiting milwaukee.gov/fatherhood to join us as a participant and exhibitor, or to support the Fatherhood Summit as a volunteer. That is milwaukee.gov/fatherhood. See you Saturday, November 16th at the Milwaukee Fatherhood Summit, sponsored by the City of Milwaukee, Brewers Community Foundation, and Ascension, Wisconsin.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven center for home care, a successful center for employment, a center for trauma recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. We have teamed up with Associated Bank for Black-owned business Give Back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. Visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com, all one word, to sign up today. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, our partner, member FDIC. So make sure you check that out if you got a black business and you want to do it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Earl, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good evening. How are you brothers doing today?
Good.
I would like to say for the brother that got off the phone with you about the lead, the lead is a problem.
Yes, it is.
And if you can't see it within your own community where it's happening at, you notice they don't complain about lead out in the suburbs. They only complain about it when they got the old supply lines that's feeding the city of Milwaukee. 53216-1008-1206.
But you gotta admit that it's not a conspiracy. It's just the building code that was pre-1986 and the building code after 1986. It has nothing to do with race or where people are.
No, it just happened to be that's where the oldest properties are. Right. Where they built the old plumbing with the galvanized pipes and all that. And people don't realize that. Don't feed your kids that water. Not to brush their teeth, not to wash their face. It seeps in your skin just as fast as it would if you drunk it. So people need to realize that. I mean, unless you not really care about the people that you're bringing into this world, keep letting them drink that water.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you much. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me check the talk and text line. Somebody said 80 million people, 80 million to deport people, and guess who will pay for it, Doc? I don't know what. First of all, they're going to start with the people who are committing crimes that'll be deported. I have no problem with those people being deported. I want my family, your family, me, you to be safe. So if some people commit a crime and they're in the country and they shouldn't be here, they should be thrown out. I don't care how much it costs. We've thrown away money on less. Guess what? I bet it's cheaper than prison. I bet it's cheaper than prison. Somebody said 4,400 people will lose their jobs when the Department of Education is closed also. So they'll be redistributed throughout federal government because they won't be able to, they won't lose their jobs. They'll be redistributed to different departments, and that's that. They're federal workers. That's what they do. So what are we doing? That's not a reason to run a deficit. That's not a reason to have something that's wasteful. That's the same mentality that we have at MPS. The Donald's a criminal. When he gets rid of the Department of Education, he will put his hands on those funds and do what he wants. Congress does that. Like, do you even understand government? Do you really actually? I don't think people understand the government at all. Brian believes the earth is flat. Of course, he believes lead is good for the human body. Yeah, that's true. Because the earth ain't flat. I don't know if Gene is being facetious or factual. I don't know. I really can't tell. 833-212-1017 is the number.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all. Now, Truth Nation is your chance to be our One Call, That's All 5K giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered in to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number 7 right now at 833-212-1017, and you will be entered in to win $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Remember, caller number 7, 833-212-1017 is the number. Remember, if you or your loved one has ever been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. That's caller number 7 at 833-212-1017 for 7.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
At Concordia University, Wisconsin, your future is more than a degree. It's an opportunity to lead and serve. With over 90 degrees, small class sizes, and a supportive Christian community, we prepare you to have a vocation with purpose, both in your career and in life. Whether you're a high schooler with big dreams or a full-time adult with a busy schedule, Concordia is here to help you reach your goals. Concordia University, Wisconsin. Live uncommon.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
I want to stress the importance of a positive mindset. Everything begins as a thought before it ever becomes an action. So it's extremely important to purposely place yourself in positive spaces to help shape and nurture those thoughts. I know you're probably thinking, okay, Telly, let's be realistic. Look, I get it. You may work with people with bad energy, or you may even be related to people who are negative by nature. In this journey called life, there will be many things that come your way that's out of your control. But what you can control is how you respond. Understand this. You have the right to either tap in or tap out of whatever energy that may come your way. And that's how you can control and protect your positive spaces. The mind is where it all starts, and if your thoughts are centered around positivity, you'll see how things begin to transform. You'll see a noticeable difference between things happening for you versus things always happening to you. You begin to grow through situations as opposed to just going through tough situations. Make it a priority to surround yourself with positive people and create those positive spaces and begin to experience the fruits of what a positive mindset can produce. Trust me, it takes work to creating these spaces, and you have to be intentional about it. And I'm committed to putting in the work because I'm living proof that it's well worth the peace a positive mindset brings.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
A couple of accidents along 43 are going to be causing some issues. Southbound on 43, we've got one at about Locust off on the right shoulder behind the barrels. And then we've got one on northbound 43 at Keefe off on the right shoulder as well. So keep that in mind. Southbound slowing down basically south of Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive, and then more delays from North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette. The northbound side slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up past the accident scene at Locust. We've got eastbound 94 hitting the brakes through the Barker Road area to Brookfield Road, then back on the brakes from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium. The westbound side is going to be a bit heavy from 13th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear to partly cloudy skies, a low of 41 at the lake, 32 inland. Tomorrow, turning mostly cloudy, breezy, rain after 6 p.m., high of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I got to figure out how many, let me see. You know what? I hate doing stuff live on the radio, but sometimes, I guess if you're live on the radio, you got to do it live on the radio, right? Okay. All right. Let me type this in. First things first. How many white people are in the United States? 219.5 million. That's in 2022. All right. All right. So, 1, 5, 4, 1, 2. I'm doing some math, so 0, 0, 0, comma 0, 0, 0, and put a comma there just to be consistent, and then hit enter. So, So let me do this and do that, and do that. I'm doing some division. Okay. So you have 219.5 million. You know what? Let me do this. 219,500,000 whites in America. Right? And then let's do this other number here, which is how many and I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to be dividing stuff out and adding and all that. I'm going to just say how many black people are in America. 41.57 million. Okay. So 41,570,000 divided by, what was that number? 107? 107. Okay. Okay. So we looked at the number of predominantly white institutions in America versus the number of historically black colleges and universities. That includes public and private. All of the numbers include public and private. For predominantly white institutions, it's 154,106. You hear me? 154,106 universities respond as predominantly white institutions. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't think it's good or bad. I think it just is what it is. African American, right? Historically black colleges and universities, also of which, see, Wayne don't understand because I'm doing it on the air and I'm walking through it and not using AI because it's a radio show and you can't use AI on radio. Anyway, I'm done. So, but getting back, there are 41,570,000 black people in America, but we only have 107 HBCUs. So you ready for this? With 219.5 million whites in America, divided in by the 154,106 schools, that's about 1,424 people per school, which ain't a lot of people. And I know because my daughter went to a school that had 1,200 students. So I get it. And they're making it with some help. HBCUs, on the other hand, if every black person, and I'm just using raw numbers, you'd have to break it down to student age and all that other kind of stuff. I'm not doing that. For every black person in America, if everybody, old and young, went to an HBCU, 388,504 people for every school. Now, you telling me we can't keep HBCUs in healthy situations? I don't know. For every black person in America from age 0, firstborn, through right before you die, is 308,504. You think we could figure out a way to keep all of our HBCUs going? That's per school. So I'm just saying. We do what we want to do, and we don't do what we don't want to do. This is Dr. Ken. Wayne say, Dr. Ken, please learn how to use AI. You're way too slow. I know. I'm trying to give a description on the radio. I'm trying to show you, walk you through the thing. If I could do that, I would tell you what. What I need you to do is I need you to download all of my shows from when I started the, third week of January in 2021 to today. Drop them into AI, and then every day I'm going to just give you a topic, and then it'll just generate the topic for the show, and I don't have to come here, but I can still get paid. Okay? Can we do that? Let's just do that. Because Wayne tripping. Wayne tripping. I just, really? You're way too slow. Right. And you're one of those people that always trusts what AI tells it. But when it's garbage in, garbage out, you'll be wondering the same thing. And then you'll be like, this is what it said, dude. Oh, so you trust it? Right. I already told you about your ABCs. Clearly you weren't listening yesterday. Accept nothing, believe no one, check everything.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's College Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholars get those free scholarship dollars. All month long, we will be highlighting local universities who offer full tuition scholarships and local organizations who help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune into 1017 The Truth College Month so you can learn how your scholar can get those scholarship dollars. College Month on The Truth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Concordia University, Wisconsin.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place? You know, that spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated is celebrating 35 years of serving all income and medically underserved populations of Milwaukee's metropolitan area. MHSI is a one-stop shop that provides medical, radiology, dental, pediatric, behavioral health, pharmacies with affordable medications, and more. Also, MHSI's new family medicine residency program, located at the Isaac Cobbs Heritage Health Center, has brought 28 family doctors to our area, which is significantly impacted by healthcare workforce shortages. Become a new patient today. To schedule an appointment, call 414-372-8080. Your health is their business.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven Center for Home Care, a successful Center for Employment, a Center for Trauma Recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
Educators Credit Union is dedicated to helping college students along their journey. Each year, they award $70,000 in scholarships to 35 outstanding high school seniors in southeastern Wisconsin. So, mark your calendars. Applications open on January 13th, 2024. They also offer resources like the ECU College Planning Center to help students successfully prepare for college. For more information on these tools and to apply for the scholarship, visit ecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Brian said, this Supreme Court is not for the rule of law. This is the same court that said accepting bribes for government officials is legal. If Trump wins, the guardrails have been removed, so I guess let's sit back and watch the chaos ensue. Huh? What? I don't get that. I don't understand that. Unless you're talking about the justices, they got gifts and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. But then you should have had anyway, I would argue it, but there are no guardrails. They haven't been removed. Like, there's still separation of branches just because you got the same people. And my thing was the fact that where's the fact that the Democratic Party, when they were in power and had all three of them, they didn't do anything for us. Nothing. Zip. Nada. And then they said deporting criminals doesn't give relief to prison system because they have to serve their time before they're being deported. Not really. If you commit a crime, they can just deport your butt. I say let's bypass the whole crime thing and just boot them. Don't even spend the $30-40 million. Well, probably cost that $30,000-$40,000 a year. Just throw them out. And some criminals have already committed crimes and gotten out of prison, but they won't throw them out. I say throw them out. Give them the boot. Give them the boot. That's what I'm saying. Somebody said, who was that? George said he has both houses and now the Supreme Court. He can do what he want to do now. No, he can't. They're going to still check each other. Not all them Republicans are on his side, and not all them. They've already proven that they're going to side in many cases with the rule of law. Unlike our state Supreme Court here, that's all liberal, and we actually put somebody in office that said their only reason they were running is to overturn abortion. I don't want a judge telling me what they're going to do. Any judge that ran under Donald Trump, what's her name? Coney Barrett? When she said what she said about abortion and all that, she should have been automatically thrown out. How you feel about it is irrelevant. It's about the rule of law. But that's just me. But then again, we still waiting for Democrats to do something, and they ain't did nothing. So, I mean, they're their own worst enemy. You can be mad and you can cry about it and you can get upset about it. But the bottom line is they shot themselves in the foot. They once again took the black community for granted. And then when they showed up, they didn't bring anything with them. Yep. Every time I move, I'm gonna invite this person to my housewarming party, but they never bring anything. They show up and they eat up all your food. They drink up all your liquor. I had a good analogy. Had to do with going to the bathroom, but I'm gonna let that go. Then they blow up your house, and they do it every time they come. But you keep inviting them. Hey, come on over. Maybe they'll be different this time. So the first time they eat up all your food. And then the second time they come, they drink up all your liquor. And the third time they come, they blow up your bathroom. You going to invite them a fourth time? Or are you going to learn from 3 times prior that they really don't care about you? They're just taking advantage of you. But that's what black people do. And so I complained about it before Trump. I complained about it before Biden. I complained about it before Trump. I complained about it before Obama. I complained about it before Bush, Clinton. Like, we keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over, but everybody else is insane. Listen to what people are telling you. They're not lying. If somebody tells you something, believe it. What problem do you have? Not believing when people tell you, I don't want that. I want this. Nah, that's okay. This is good for you. Just listen to us. You know, we white folks and we Democrats, we'll do what we know what's best for you. That's what got us in slavery in the first place. We know what's best for you. That's what helped us lose banks, right? But we know what's best for you. And we've been listening to that same story since 1865, and we have zero to show for it. Nothing. Not talking about how you feel. I'm not talking about being pro-Republican or pro-Trump. I'm just talking about, did you give me what you promised that you said you were going to give me? And an argument is not, did Trump do it? That's not an answer. That's sidestepping. That's letting somebody else, that's blaming somebody else for something that you let in your house. You left the door open. Well, it's not my fault that we got an alligator in the house, but you left the door open. First way to change it is to take responsibility for your actions. You left the door open. So now we got issues in the house. Now we got people in the house that don't belong here. And so now you got people in the White House, you got people in the Senate, people in the House of Representatives, and the Supreme Court that got there because you listened to the lies of the people that told you they were going to give you what you needed, and they gave you the bare minimum, and you got nothing for it. You still got people going around saying that because we got $1,200 during COVID, which if you really think about the majority of the people that actually voted were not eligible. But let's just skip that. But that's how we get treated. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show is coming up next. It's like the only day that I can say Tori Lowe Show is going to, because I'm telling you, we got so many things on this station recently. The games and playoffs and programming and just great things because we're growing and expanding, and 2025 will be that much better. Hey, have a great evening. God bless. Take care. Jason, appreciate you. What DJ Brother Z? Oh, wow, that was a pretty slow lean. You're supposed to be leaning. You're supposed to be quicker than that. All right, everybody ready to go home, so we out. God bless. Take care. I'm out.